conjunction with mind control techniques and drugs in Tucson, Arizona. Dr. Green was using conversing as a mind control subject from 1966 to 1973. His objective was to gain control of my mind and train me to be a spy assassin. The first significant memory took place at Kansas City University in 1966. Don Everett took me there by plane when my mom was out of town. I was in what looked like a laboratory, and there seemed to be other children. I was strapped up, naked, spread eagle, on a table, on my back. Dr. Green had electrodes on my body, including my head. He used what looked like an overhead projector and repeatedly said he was burning different images into my brain while a red light flashed aimed at my forehead. In between each sequence, he used electric shock on my body and told me to go deeper and deeper, or repeating each image would go deeper into my brain, and I would do whatever he told me to do. I felt drugged because he had given me a shot before he started the procedure. When it was over, he gave me another shot. The next thing I remember, I was in my grandparents' den in Tucson, Arizona. I was 4 years old. You can see from this experiment that Dr. Green used trauma, drugs, post-hypnotic suggestion, and more trauma in an effort to gain total control of my mind. He used me in radiation experiments both for the purposes of determining the effects of radiation on various parts of my body and to terrorize me as an additional trauma in the mind control experiments. The rest of the experiments took place and out in the desert. I was taught how to think lost, be secretive, use my photographic memory, and a technique to withhold information by repeating numbers to myself. Dr. Green took guns wanting me to kill any children. I stabbed a dolphin scale once after being severely traumatized, but the next time I refused. He used many pain induction techniques, but as I got older, I resisted. He often started gambling at teenage with his mayor's office. Between 1972 and 1976, he and his assistants were sometimes careless and left the page unlocked. Whenever physically possible, I sneaked these files and found files with reports and memos against the CIA and military personnel. Included in